Well, I'm a firm believer that two heads are better than one, and coming into the final major of the year, the PGA Championship, I'm delighted to be joined by Sky Sports analyst, Daily Mirror tipster and former European Tour player Gary Murphy to give you, hopefully, some winners from this final major. And Gary, first of all, let's talk about the favourites. Rory McIlroy is 15-2 favourite, Adam Scott 12-1, and Tiger even further out. How do you read the favourites coming into this event?
Well, McIlroy is a worthy favourite. I mean, he was awesome at Hoylake. He showed the brilliance Thursday, Friday, and then the steal at the weekend. Something that he possibly hasn't shown in his two previous victories. It was just brilliant golf. He's a worthy favourite.
But is he as prepared? We've seen all the stuff on Twitter and Facebook about all his parties and stuff like that. Is he as focused coming into this tournament as he was going into Hoylake?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, he had some downtime afterwards, which is understandable. But he also mentioned, Augusta next April, the Grand Slam. So he's back. I think he's back on track straight away. He wants to win as many as he can. I think they have to be wary too, as we saw with Harrington. When you're hot, you can. And Nick Price did it back in the day as well, and it was a PGA. You can win 2 or 3 in a row if you get it going. So Rory will be.
You'll be having a little nibble at that 15-2.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best golfer on the planet when he's in form.
Okay, out of Adam Scott, who was, I think, pretty generous out of the 12-1 on Tiger Woods, who are you taking there? Adam Scott tied 5th at Oak Hill last year. Very lightly raced, really good form line since his win at Crown Plaza. Would you be having him or Tiger Woods, one on the course before? Which of those would you take?
I'm going to go for Tiger because I went for Tiger at Hoylake just because his price was so huge. I know he didn't perform. It was only his second week back. He's going to be there or thereabouts, and he's going to be a huge price. And you'd kick yourself if he was in 20s and you didn't back him.
Well, I always think, and it has worked well for us, that each way odds or each way tips are very good, especially when you go down the order and you see somebody around the 25-28-1 mark who'll pay out 7-1 each way, especially 6th places usually in a major. And we've been having a look, myself and Gary, and I think that Justin Rose at 25-1 has a real good shot. Now, people say that he didn't perform at the US Open and at the Open Championship, but he had it tied 12th and tied 23rd, and don't forget he won both sides of the pond in between at Congressional and in Aberdeen, which is not so bad. And what's even more, we were looking at the stats, he's in the top 20 driving and greens in regulation in all 4 of those tournaments. And just the 2 tournaments where he didn't put as good, he didn't do as good. But I still think from 25-1. Also there, along with Rose, is Henrik Stenson. Do you think he has a chance there? He's around 25-1 as well.
Stenson has a huge chance in the sense that, he had an enormous year last year and then a little bit of a hangover at the start of the season, but he's now back in form, and he's a major player. As we saw the way he played at the FedEx and the race to Dubai. Once he gets in that zone again, he's comfortable, and he has to have a big chance. You
were over at the Open working for the BBC. He had a brilliant form line coming in. It just looked like, and you were actually on the course for a while, it looked like he was just trying a little bit too hard. It just didn't happen for him there.
Yeah, I think, and he's, we've seen that a lot with Westwood over the years as well, and he has to learn from that. And just treat a major like a regular event.
So we think that Justin Rose and Henrik Stenson. Henrik Stenson also has 3 top 6s in the USPGA since 2008, which is not that bad. A little bit further out the odds, maybe 28-1 or 30-1, is Ricky Fowler. People talk about Ricky Fowler and Butch Harmon changing his swing, but what has been the real difference since he's turned around at Crown Plaza?
I mean, he has changed his swing, and he's certainly striking the ball a lot better and more consistent, but his putting has been standout. And we saw that the first time we actually saw Fowler was in Celtic Manor in 2010. He birdied the last 4 holes against Molinari.
Under severe pressure.
Under, Ryder Cup pressure, which is major championship pressure.
Exactly. And since his St. Jude, the US Open, the Open Championship, and what came in between, he played in Scotland, he's been in the top 12 in putting in all 4 tournaments, which is really, really impressive on all different terrain. So Ricky Fowler around 28-1 cannot be overlooked for this major. He deserves one after the year he's had.
And he's sneaky long as well. I mean, even though he's a short guy, he gets the ball out there, and I really fancied him at the Masters this year, and he almost pulled it off.
Okay, fantastic. So those are our tips. Now, if we had to, we always have some long odds glory fun. If I was going to ask you for a long odds pick, who would you tip this week?
I think I have to agree with you on this, Doc. I think Mark Leishman is a great outside bet. He had a great Open Championship, and he said that he learned a lot more about himself that week. That was the first week where mentally and emotionally he was comfortable in that position. so he could be at 100 to 1.
He is at 100 to 1. I am going to take, seeing as you've taken Leishman, stolen my thunder, I will take Angel Cabrera from 80 to 1. Now, if Angel Cabrera, I hope his son doesn't see this, but if he had Stevie Williams or the like on the bag, putting the clubs in his hands, I think he'd do a lot better. It all depends on his strategy, but I can just see a big lumbering Argentinian in 32 degrees of heat. He's going to absolutely love it out there. Don't forget, he won the Green Beer Classic. He's got his new Ping G30 driver, absolutely love it. So Angel Cabrera is going to be my shot. Fingers crossed we'll get a winner. Thank you, Gary, for joining us, and hopefully we'll get some money for you. See you all again next week.